Good morrow, my sweet strangers! Welcome to Brenda's crafty-handed world. The Christmas is almost here, and the cone Christmas tree decorations are everywhere. So I thought, why not make Christmas cone kitties? What a delightful idea! Let's make some! Please join me in crafting. First, I'm selecting some pretty Christmas print cardstock from my extensive paper collection. And then, I'm cutting it into 3 inches by 3 1/4 inch almost squares. The extra 1/4 inch is there to have room for the tape. Of course, you can size it up or down as you wish. Next, you will need a basic school compass to draw the quarter circle. But if you don't have one, just make a row of little marks 3 inches from the top right point, and then connect them with a smooth line. And cut it out. Attach the double-sided tape on the extra 1/4 inch. And gently roll up the cone. When you are happy with its shape, remove the tape paper. And I like to add a few drops of glue on top of the tape. It makes a slightly slippery layer, making it easier to align the edges before committing. Then, press them firmly together. You can use a pencil or the brush handle to get a better grip. And now we have a cute little paper cone. The second thing we are making from the paper is the kitty ears. Again, size them up or down depending on the size of your kitties. Mine are about 3/4 of an inch long and 3/8 of an inch wide. I cut 2 of each and glued the back and front pieces together, shaping them gently with the brush handle while still damp. I prepared as many as I needed ahead. Before we get any further, we will need to make some wire loops for hanging. There are several options depending on what you have at hand. But I think the paper clips are pretty universal. I just cut those in half and bend them in little loops. And if you use just the smaller halves, you might not even need to do any bending. And it's clay time! I sincerely hope your clay selection is better than what I can get here. All the ones I got were cracking, crumbling, or just not sticking together. What a challenge! Make about 7/8 of an inch big round balls for the heads and gently stick them on the cones. And reshape them if needed. Insert the little metal loops in the center top and clean up any holes and push marks. And then push the ears in, about halfway deep. To even out the skin tone, I painted all the little heads with white chalk paint. It helps to blend all the fine cracks and marks. Just be careful around the cone and the ears. Now grab some wire, preferably not from your wall. But if you have some leftovers from an electro installation, those are great to keep. 14 gauge is a common household size, which we will use. And if you ask your electrician nicely, I'm sure he will even strip them for you. We will need around 5 inches long pieces. Start by rounding the tip of the tail, but not all the way through because we will be attaching a little jingle bells shortly. Look at the size of your cone and shape the tail accordingly, any way you like. At the bottom, I bent it almost at the right angle and curved it back and forth to create a little base. Then I attached the jingle and finished curling the wire so it would stay on. If the color of the wire or a jingle bell doesn't suit you, remember that you can always paint it or wax it. Now let's make some clay cookies. I was lucky to find a 1 9/16 of an inch round cookie cutter. The clay I use is quite shrinkable, so it's almost the perfect size. Of course, you can cut the little circles by hand if you don't have a fitting cutter. Roll out the clay like a dough to a 3/16 of an inch thick sheet and cut out your circles. Then carefully push the wire tail bases into the clay circles, just to be even with the top. Now it's time to clean up the fuzzy edges, if you have any. I don't recommend resizing the already dry circles the way I did. It's too dangerous. Rather, make them smaller to start with, or resize them with a dollar tool while the clay is still soft. They should be just a hair smaller than the cone. Snip the cone where the wire is and fit it over the base. Then glue it in place with the PVA glue. Next, roll about 1/2 inch small ball. Split it in half, and let's make 2 little kitty feet. Use a wooden clay tool or a butter knife to shape the little kitty's toes. Here is a little close-up. Start from the bottom and gently roll the knife up, making 4 lines on each foot. And when you are happy with their size and shape, you can glue them in place. To hide the transition with the base, we'll decorate it. You can either mold a small clay trim as I did, or you can use any fabric trim, ribbon, lace, or a rope you might like. And glue it in place. Of course, you can skip the little kitty feet altogether and just trim the bottom of the base in one piece. And it's time to hot glue the little head in place, so we don't lose it. Now, let's draw some kitty faces. First, I practiced a few on a plain paper to test the size and expressions. And then, I used Pilot Supercolor Gold to paint the faces on the heads. You can lightly pre-draw the faces in pencil. It helps. And don't worry if you mess up. You can always repaint the head with white paint and start over. I decided to finally test my metallic waxes and painted all the bases with them. I also tried painting one of the kitties' heads with the matching wax, but it was too heavy for me and I didn't like it much. But I still want to show you what it looks like. In case you are going for a more abstract look, it could work without a face. And I'm really crazy about this rose gold from the Pentart. The Christmas kitty wouldn't be Christmassy enough without a star at the top. So I sketched a few stars on a pasteboard and cut them out. I painted them with matching waxes and hot glued them on each kitty's forehead. Now you could say our Christmas kitties are finished, but not for me. I found some beautiful trims, ribbons and beads in my stash that I wanted to use for a long time, and I'm going to adorn the kitties with some pretty necklaces. I wish I had some bling, but I don't. Oh, well, maybe I do. I just don't know where. I tied some cute little bows and cut the tails on them. Then I hot glued a thinner ribbon around the kitty's neck. And added the bow at the front. On another one, I hot glued a string of pearls. And another one got a shiny gold rope scarf. And here are my little Christmas kitty cone ornaments, which could also be a great little gift. I also made some bigger ones, but that's another story. Thank you for staying with me till the end. And if you enjoy my little projects, please like and subscribe. It really helps me. Thank you, and have a wonderful Christmas.